Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So we're going to be doing some interior mods on the Mustang. As you guys all know, you got the red Watson racing cage in it. We're going to do some nice aesthetic stuff in the interior and change up a few things, make sure the red accents kind of flow with everything. I'll go through the list of parts that we have for the interior and we'll get started with the first install. So if we come over here to the car, as you guys seen, like I was talking about before, I'm kind of a red themed with the whole interior and engine bay stuff. So we get the red lights and everything. Today we're going to be changing out the start stop button there with a red Shelby one, and then the shift knob will be a different shift knob as well. At the top here, as you guys can see, we just have vacuum because obviously this car was previously, when it came from factory, it was naturally aspirated. So essentially you don't need a boost gauge because you know, we don't, there's no supercharger on it from the factory. But now that we have boost, I'd like a boost gauge that goes in direct replacement of that vacuum gauge, and it's from Ford, so all the color coding and everything will work. So we're gonna install that today. We're gonna install a shift knob, and we're gonna install that push button start. So let's get to it. We're gonna be using a small pick here, and we're gonna try and not mark around the trim there on there. It should just pop off. We'll go ahead and put that out of the way. Tool, your choice of tool in here. There you go. Pop that out. So now that we have the old one out here, it's just it can take a bit of massaging on each side. You won't break it. It sounds like you're gonna break it when you're doing and you're pulling on it and stuff, but it's okay because there's just two little clips that are on the back of it. And we're gonna take our new one here. And Ford actually recommends that you take this whole bezel off and replace the push button start behind it as a unit. But if you can get away with just prying it out like that and then clipping the new one on, that's why they give you these extra clips, because they do expect you to take this whole trim panel off. This here, make sure the top lines up and you snap it in. Just like that. Now you have a red push button start, and it ties in nicely with the red accents in the car. So now that that's done, we're gonna go ahead and work at these gauges here. We're gonna move on to taking this stuff, these pieces off here. These are just held on by clips, and then we're gonna get access to the gauge here so we can replace it with the boost gauge. So I like to pull the glove box down, this little pull, like that, just held in by clips. And the kit actually gives you spare clips as well in case you ever break one, so you don't need to worry about that. So once that's off, you should be able to pull this off like that. Pull it up. And then you just need to unplug the back here. There you go, just like that, perfect. And then what I like to do is I like to inspect all the clips on the back side here and make sure that none of them broke off or they're all still intact, and if I need to replace any of them or not, then everything seats proper. So we're gonna go ahead and take this over to the bench and then swap the new gauge into it. So for these Torx bits here, we're just gonna be using a T20, and there's just 4 of them on the back side. Just like that, you got your old one out. You can see on this one here, it's all in vacuum over here, and you have oil pressure over here. The new one that we're going to be putting keeps the factory oil pressure and then just changes this to be into positive for boost. The nice thing is that this is actually factory Ford from their Performance Pack Eco Boost, so they'll read boost pressures anyways, and everything should connect, and your My Colors and everything should work. No problem with the interior lighting and everything. It all works that way. So we'll do a little side-by-side comparison here. So this one's got boost here, and then it's got vacuum as well, and then oil pressure just like that other one, and then this one stays the same, and then this is where the change happens right here. These don't need to be insane tight, so they will strip easy because it is just going into plastic. Okay. a look on the other side, make sure it all looks okay. Nothing's upside down. These gauges can only go in one way, so we're okay. So that looks much better. Now let's go and reinstall it into the car. Don't forget your plug on the back side or else your gauges will not work. Put that in there, line everything up. Okay, everything seems to be level here. Just double check up at the top there, all the clips are in. Then you got your last piece at the bottom here. You just snap it into place. And just like that, the gauges are there. So let's just turn the car and the accessory and see if they light up. Oh, perfect. So as you can see, they're all red, just like the rest of it. The My Color works and everything on it. So everything's working as it should right now. You got your boost gauge, it's all red, it matches the rest of the gauges there. And yeah, it's good. That ties in nicely with the red start button, this badge over here. And now we're gonna get on to changing the shift knob out. Now we're gonna have to do some modifications to the shift knob, considering that shift knob is meant for a T56 transmission. So the thread pitch is a little bit different versus the MT82. So we're gonna have to drill out that the shifter here and then retap it to an M12 by 125, I believe it is. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and open the shift knob here. It's got some good weight to it, nice leather wrapped around. It's got the nice red accents to it there, as you can see. It'll tie in nice with that red start button, and the rest of the interior will flow nicely with it. We're gonna have to take this ring out here inside here, and then this is what we're actually drilling out. It's a 7/16 drill bit to drill the old threads out here, and then you need an M12 by 125 tap. That collar will interfere with your reverse lockout, so we gotta peel that out of here. Just like that, pull it out. And now we're gonna be drilling this out. Try and get it as straight as possible. You don't want to be drilling it on an angle. What I like to do with this is I measured the depth of it with a caliper gauge here on where the bottom of the shifter goes to the bolt, because you don't want to go through the top. So I measured that and put a piece of tape on a drill bit so I know when I'm at the lower spot of the drilling at the shifter. So we're just about drilled out here now. This may take some patience to drill out, not a big deal. It took a little bit for me to get it, but just got to go slow and steady, and use some lubricant in there if you can to prevent wearing out your drill bit. So now that we have that drilled out, we're going to be using the M12 by 1.25 tap here, so you guys can see the size, so you guys know, because this is the thread pitch that's with the MT82 transmissions. You start threading it in, make sure that you're going pretty even here. You don't want to put it on an angle, and start making your own threads. I like to wiggle it back and forth as I'm doing it too, to clean all the debris out as I'm going. You should have some threads in there that are tapped to M12 by 125. Now you might have to kind of work yourself with getting this loose, because the Loctite will be pretty tight on there. In this case, mine came off fairly easy. Unscrew the old one, just like that, and come in with your new one there. It's a good idea to put a small dab of blue Loctite on here, so your shift knob doesn't start walking all over the place. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of that. Just put a little bit on, not too much. Sometimes you can get lucky with it falling into the right direction, but this one got perfect today, so that's good. So we're gonna line it up straight. And just like that, everything works as it should with the reverse lockout. Perfect, excellent. And that's how you install the shift knob. It feels really good in the hand. Definitely gonna be banging gears with this. Alright, so that just about wraps it up for today's videos. And that's about as much as I'll do with the interior mods on this car. I probably won't add too much. I want to do some seats eventually, some Recaros or something like that, some leathers, but I do have the heated and cooled option for that, so I like to keep that feature, whereas if you go to a Recaro or something like that, then usually those features go out the door. At the end of the day, these seats are fine and they're comfy enough, so we'll keep those for a while until we find some good deal on some Recaro because they look really good. Most of it is all good and it's all taken care of in the interior. The gauge is on, everything works, no programming needed for that, so that's good. We're just about wrapped up with this interior in here. So if you want to keep more up to date with the Mustang, I'll have another video coming out soon with making the engine bay look a little better in this. So I'll do an install video on that stuff. I got some stuff from Mishimoto and we'll make an install video of that as well. So hope you guys enjoyed, and like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, guys.